This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. We're going to do it again. And I am live. I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I'm not seeming to get my notifications. So I'm going to give myself a little test real quick. And let's see. Because I'm not getting notifications for anything for any reason, which is bad. Okay, we got one on the chat, we got two, we're loading up, we're coming through and through. I want to talk to you guys about a revisited fight, and it seems like more and more fights are being revisited. Okay, yeah, I don't see anything that's even showing I'm on live right now. But anyway, I could be wrong. But guys, we need to talk. We need to talk about it. Majestic TV, Counterpunch to you. This is also a training day too. So I got to get some sun. I got some more work to do. So I got to get darker. Ain't that something? So they say get some sun. I'm getting some sun. But hey, if you guys haven't seen my video about Joyce and Anthony Joshua, what he had to say about Anthony Joshua, like Joshua's losing it. Like, hey, something's going on with him. He's becoming more vocal. You know what I mean? I had a conversation with a good friend of mine, and he pointed out, shout out to Leroy, that Joshua's probably now just being himself, okay? Because I don't think he has anything else to lose at this point. So when you do hear Joshua say something kind of foul or like, ugh, you know, you have to remember Anthony Joshua was a guy that was prone to go to jail at once upon a time. If you guys can remember. So I think it's more of a revealing thing with Joshua, you know. But with Joyce though, Joyce said he hasn't heard from him in a while. So I would love to see these guys face to face, what they have to say to each other. You guys hit that like button for me. So that would allow other people to come in. Because again, when you're live, you're supposed to see yourself live. You're supposed to have a live icon. I don't see any of this shit. So thank you for the one like there. I'm going to do another set because I got to shred some weight too. It's not really too good for me to be where I'm at simply because, you know, I'm eating. So, and it's not what you eat, it's how you eat. And I've been eating all the bad stuff. Let's hit that like button, guys. Get those likes up. So let's talk about Anthony Joshua and Anthony Joshua. London walks. Butterbean. Butterbean. Damn, I heard that one before. That's not fair. You can't call him Butterbean. Look nothing like Butterbean. Butterbean's a white guy. So let's hit that like button. And I know Anthony Joshua, you might say, hey, wait, why are we talking about, where's the pool? The pool is right here. There you go. There's the pool. All right. It's a nice view. Better yet, let me turn this sucker around so you guys can check this out. As you guys can see, that overlooks the ocean back there, if you guys can see that. So, beautiful view. It's a great time for a workout. The sun is right on top, right? Michael O'Donnell. Hello, Kurt, big bro. Big love from Scotland. Appreciate you, brother. Football Matters FC. Nice mansion. Actually, it's a villa. Something like a mini mansion. AJ Matchroom Boxing, how much paying him? Look, that's another thing. That's a total different thing. I'm going to do a live stream on that tomorrow, but like a sneak preview of that. 100 million pounds. 100 million. You know who that sounds like? That sounds like Floyd, Money Mayweather numbers. $100 million a fight. This is 100 million pounds. I mean, even Canelo Alvarez, though. Let's look at Canelo for a minute, right? He made 50 million from his last fight. It did good, so he might have made 60 to 70 million, maybe. But he had a guarantee of 50. So we don't know how much of that success for that fight coincided what he had to, what they had to work up to get that 50 million. You know, because a lot of times where it's pay-per-view, the pay-per-view covers the part of the guarantee. Okay, so that's 50. All right, so if you take 50 and you double it, boom, boom, that's 100 million. That's dollars though. That's not pounds. So we have to realize something. 50 million twice is what, 100 million. And you still won't make what Joshua is going to make in Saudi Arabia. You think that deal won't go through? You think it's really going to be in England? No, it's not. It's not going to be in England. It doesn't matter if the fight's in England. It doesn't matter if the fight is in the USA. It doesn't matter. It's not going to happen there because the money, the site fee. The Saudis have the money. The weather looks lovely there. It is. It is very lovely. Chris R. Gary, shout out from Nottingham. Counterpunch to you, brother. He says, AJ, how much paying me? No, everyone pays me. BT, Matchroom, The Zone, PBC, they all pay me. Why? Because I'm a boxing channel. Counterpunch. There you go. Huey Fury sat in the crowd on the boxer show dressed like a Peaky Blinder holding a cane. Bail in. Wow. It will be too hot in Saudi Arabia in the summer. Well, not for a fight it won't. Tell that to Thriller in Manila. It was so hot that the ropes were drooping. But guess what? The fight still went on. The fight still happened. So, I don't know about that one. Football Matters. New fan here, Kurt from UK. Football Matters is in the place to be. Welcome. Welcome to the community. But yeah, back to the rivalry. Back to the beef. Can you guys tell me if there is some footage, because I haven't really seen it. I haven't seen any. Is there some footage of a full round of AJ taking on Joyce? How much did AJ make against Ruiz? He made 85 million. Where Andy made 13. He made 13. So 85 compared to 13 when you're a challenger. That's crazy. That's stupid numbers there, right? Stupid. Now I know a lot was riding counting on the fact that what if he loses again? What will he do? You know, the Sky pay-per-view went up the first time in 5 to 6 years, maybe longer. So I get that. But what I can't understand is now, why is he getting 100 million pounds? I mean, I'm not hating, I'm just asking a question. He's already lost before. The O's gone. He's lost once. No, not once, but twice, right? Crazy numbers. Joe Joyce is a problem for anyone, but AJ is on a different level. Well, this is all I'll say about AJ. I think AJ can outbox Joe Joyce. But the question is, for how long? I mean, how long can he outbox Joe Joyce? Right? Because Joyce is going to keep coming. And we've seen that against Dubois. Dubois landed some bombs. And according to the scorecards, that fight was pretty close by the time it was stopped. Exactly. London Walks. 100 million pounds is 131 million US. Exactly. So that 31 million, that's like over half of what Canelo Alvarez's fight purse was. Joyce has a better engine. See, look, here's the thing. He can do that shit for how many rounds? But Joe Joyce, he's going to keep coming. And if AJ runs out of gas, if he can't keep that shit up, Joe Joyce is going to eventually catch him and keep punching him. We've seen AJ gas out. Let's be real. We've seen the man gas out, right? I mean, haven't we seen that? Let's hit that like button. I mean, you look at 70,000 subscribers, you think it'd be more than 30 people in here. So I know the notifications are not coming out. YouTube's tripping. Let's get those likes up. Happy days. They Kind of Punch Boxing News. Big up, Kurt. I've been watching your channel for years. Keep up the good work. Hopefully you can come to London soon, bro. AJ is the cash cow. Saudi is paying through the nose for a good price. Plus pay-per-view. Yeah. Is this New Orleans? No, this is not New Orleans, London Walks. I didn't get a notification. Exactly. You and thousands of other people did not get notifications. In fact, I'm not even online right now. It's just now showing, hey, I'm live. I've been live for 13 minutes. That should tell you something. So however you guys get this, let's hit that like button. You are correct, Langton Evelyn. And it's beautiful. Absolutely lovely, darling. Yeah. Started my training. Why don't you go to the fight, Fury Whyte? It's all sold out. Carnage AFC. And then plus, I have an important function to go to. Kurt, do you think the AJ Fury fight will ever happen? I'm hoping so. Well, it will. And I think the only way Anthony Joshua fights Tyson Fury, and I want people to understand this, the only way that fight will happen is if Tyson Fury loses. Because if Tyson Fury never loses, that fight will never happen. Because what Tyson will do, he will do exactly what Floyd done. What Floyd did. What did Floyd do? He waddled in the knowing that he never got beat, and he picked fights, or he retired, then he came back. He did the same shit for a while, and Tyson Fury's going down that road. If he never gets beat, he will always say, someone's a bum, I don't need to fight him, I'm retiring. Then he will come back to the sport because he's too damn young, right? Then fight somebody that we don't even want to see. And then it'll be someone else that may pique the interest of the boxing world. But understand, if Tyson Fury doesn't get beat, we won't see that fight. We won't. Yeah, Tyson's unpredictable. I still want to see AJ Miller. Me too. London Walks, me too. I still want to see that fight. Because that fight should have happened. If it wasn't for Jarrell Miller's bullshit, we wouldn't have knew who Andy Ruiz was. You knew who Andy Ruiz would have been? Another person that went out for the title that never fucking made it. He went out for the WBO and he lost a close decision to Joseph Parker. The rest is history. Because there wouldn't be any more fights. There wouldn't be any more opportunities for him. Why? Because there's nobody on the PBC side that has any belts. The last person that had that strap was who? Him. But how did he get it? Other than him, who had it? No one. Deontay Wilder had the WBC. He wouldn't have earned a Deontay Wilder fight. He wouldn't have. Let's just be real. Who is Miller going to fight? I have no idea. I just know he's going to fight, and that's big news for me. Why? Because the man hasn't fought in 4 fucking years. 4 years. He hasn't fought in 4 years. Bye, Kurt. Have to go to work. See you later, buddy. Thanks you for coming in. I bet Miller fights Del Boy. Hey, in the UK, that would be a good fight to have. Because we will see exactly what Jarrell Miller's made out of. Because if Del Boy comes in shape, if he comes in fighting shape, even at 38, whatever, how old he is now, he will push Jarrell Miller. And I think he will push him to the point past the drugs. See, I don't care about the first 4 rounds. I care about the last 4. I care about the middle rounds. I care about when the juice is not pumping through Jarrell Miller's veins. I care about when he is huffing and puffing. And he has thrown a lot of punches and Del Boy's still there. We know Del Boy's going to get tired, but he's not going to quit. The question is, will Jarrell Miller quit? That's the question. See, it's a hell of a thing when you have an aid. Okay? When you have a crutch. See, PEDs was a crutch for Jarrell Miller. Everybody knows that. So we don't really know how good he will ever be or could be until he fights without the juice. Okay, so if he does fight in the UK, it will be someone like Derek Chisora. And I hope Derek Chisora is the A side. Why? Because Derek Chisora deserves it. They fucked him over on the Joseph Parker fight. He fought Alexander Usyk. He fought Tyson Fury. He fought Joseph Parker again. You know, he knocked Spilka out right after Wilder did, even though I think Wilder damaged Spilka, right? But it was still an impressive knockout, and they were friends. You know? A lot of people thought he beat Dillian Whyte the first fight. So, yeah, if anybody deserves it, it should be Del Boy, War, Chisora. Absolutely. Where do you rank AJ in the heavyweight division? Second or third? Third? Fourth? Yeah, fourth. Why? Because you have Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk, 1 or 2. I don't care which one. Third will be Dillian Whyte by default because he's going out for the belt. Then fourth would be AJ. Okay. Now you could argue AJ and Wilder, right? Because they're still the top. Until someone comes and knocks those guys off. Now, the next five would be Joe Joyce. Who else is there? Frank Sanchez. Joseph Parker's in there somewhere down on the end. Who else? Who else is around really now? Daniel Dubois in there somewhere. He got beat by Joe Joyce. Joe Joyce is probably 6. Ruiz, no. Ruiz hasn't fought enough. He fought one time in 2 fucking years. Matter of fact, 3. So he's fought one time in 3 years. No. Ruiz is down. He's probably top 15. I wouldn't give him top 10. And if it is, it would be 10. Right? But you have to put a whole lot of other people that have been more consistent, that has fought, that has actually did their job over Andy Ruiz. Just because he's lost, his last loss was in 2019. If you haven't done anything since a crazy fight with Chris Arreola, what have you really accomplished? You got to throw Helenius in there too, because Helenius has made a comeback by beating the shit out of Adam Kalnaki. So Hunter's weird because he's fighting guys that nobody gives a shit to see. That's his problem. The only thing worse than Michael Hunter is Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz has a one-up. Michael Hunter has a one-up on Andy Ruiz simply because, Philip Hrgovic, Otto Wallin. See, those guys are all scattered in there, right? Then they should all fight for the top 10. The only problem is all these guys are trying to fight for a belt, which sucks. These guys should be fighting for the right to be ranked, the right to be the number 10 badass heavyweights. That's what they should be fighting for, but they're not. Okay, they're not at all. So Hunter has been more consistent than Ruiz, but he hasn't fought anybody worth a shit. He should have fought Hrgovic. That hurt him. That hurt him a lot. Okay? When he left Eddie Hearn, that hurt him. You can't compare his opponent, his last opponent. What was his last opponent's name? Dude, I don't even remember his name. But whoever that guy's name is right now, let me look him up real quick. I don't want to be disrespectful to bosses. So, Michael Hunter. Okay. All right. His last fight was against Jerry Forrest. And I wasn't even talking about Jerry Forrest. But Jerry Forrest is another guy that he had a draw. And I forgot about that. So, Michael Hunter, everybody thought he lost. Mike Wilson. So you can't compare Mike Wilson to Alexander Povetkin. You just can't do it. So that's the difference between the caliber of fights that he was fighting when he was with Eddie, with Matchroom, versus what the hell is he doing now. And he turned down that Hrgovic fight because Eddie was a part of it. And I know that kind of left a bad taste in his mouth. If you guys seen the interview I did with Michael Hunter, yes, I was out of the country. Yes, it was blocky. It was sketchy. But what we did hear from Michael Hunter is that he didn't want to deal with Eddie Hearn. Look, this is a shit business. To counterpunch Michael Hunter real quick, it doesn't matter, okay? There's a lot of fighters and a lot of people, a lot of promoters that you just do not want to deal with. Everybody that works 9 to 5s works with somebody you don't want to work with. And you guys know that, right? Michael Hunter is no different. It's a job at the end of the day. He should have took that money, which was about $700,000-800,000 or something like that. He was the A side. He got the lion's share of the money over Hrgovic. And yet he did not want it. He decided to drop it. Right? So Michael Hunter goes from fighting guys like from Alexander Povetkin, which he got a draw, right? Now the irony of it, a lot of people thought he won. Then you go from that to fighting Mike Wilson. You had the Hrgovic fight, you turned that down, then you went to Mike Wilson and then Jerry Forrest. You can't compare those guys. You're talking about the former WBA heavyweight champion of the world here, the guy that knocked out the guy that's fighting for the WBC, Dillian Whyte, Alexander Povetkin. You had a draw with this guy. So no, his record ain't bad. He's only been officially beaten by Alexander Usyk. But still, his resume, his career is stagnant. And that's all I can really say about Michael Hunter. I like Michael Hunter, but Michael Hunter's not showing me anything. That's why it's so important and exciting to hear fucking Jarrell Miller come back. Right? I really don't get why anyone says Wallin, to be honest. Well, Wallin got a bad shot. He thought that he was going to get a clear-cut opportunity for Dillian Whyte, and it didn't happen like that. Now look at Dillian Whyte. Now, can you blame Dillian Whyte right now? No. It sucks to be Otto Wallin, I know. But what do you do? Again, you got to do more than beat up Dominic Brazil, a guy that was knocked out brutally by, to this day, Deontay Wilder. You got to do more than that. Hunter got a gift. Drumming for life. That ain't no lie. I hate Miller for drugs, cheating, but to be honest, I think we need a brawler, trash talker at the heavyweight division. Put him in any decent opposition, and it will be fire at least versus Dillian Whyte or Chisora. Hey, I'm happy days. I'm with you. I agree. Kurt rocking the dad bod. Yeah, man, I got a shred. Everybody's like, oh, man, you solid. Like, dude, I got a shred. That's where a party and get you. What happened to all the American heavyweights, Kurt? They all fucking start playing football. That's what happened to them. Or UFC, MMA. CPN, do you think Wilder wants the AJ fight? Lamech? No, I don't. I don't think he does. And I think Wilder, if anything, Wilder wants an easy fight now. Now the question is, does he deserve one? If he fought someone that's not on the level, yeah, I'd counterpunch him, but I would understand. I would understand if he wanted a tune-up fight. I would understand, because when you're brutally knocked out the way he was, you know what I mean? Like, look at Fernando Vargas and Felix Trinidad. Fernando Vargas and Felix Trinidad fought one hell of a fight. It lasted 12 rounds. Multiple knockdowns, right? He knocked down Trinidad in the 4th round of that fight. But then he went in and he fought Herrera from Puerto Rico. And he got dropped in that fight. But did anybody get pissed off because Fernando Vargas took that fight? No, and they shouldn't. So sometimes you got to give people a break. And I would give Wilder a break if Wilder came back, at least fought somebody to get his confidence back. Because you have to understand, he hasn't won a fight since 2019. We have to remember that. He's done well against Fury. He just got decent experience in the chin. I see him similar to Fury. Nothing spectacular, amazing overall. Good rounder. CPN, do you think Wilder? Okay. I was excited to hear Miller come back. To be honest, I will bring a buzz to big fights and make things interesting. Yeah, you know he will. You know Jarrell Miller will. Jarrell Miller will come with the fire. He will come with the desire. Bars. One moment. Allergy season, guys. Forgive me. Now, where were we? Yeah, Jarrell Miller. Jarrell Miller will bring the excitement back to American heavyweight boxing. Now, the thing about him, he has to win a couple fights to create that buzz around him. And don't let Anthony Joshua beat Alexander Usyk. Don't let that happen, because at that point, Jarrell Miller would then, hey, I wanted my opportunity. You know what? Anthony Joshua, don't believe everything you hear. I'm gonna whoop Anthony Joshua. I think he's a coward. I think he's a pussy. That's why I didn't want that fight. I would have knocked him out too. I would have did the same thing Andy Ruiz did. I would have done that shit. Say I won't slap the shit out of you. Say I won't come over here and say I won't slap the shit out of you. What do you think about Eva and Dillian Whyte? What the hell is Eva? Who's Eva? I think Wilder would fight Ruiz or Ortiz. I don't want to see him fight. You know what's scary? He fought Ortiz. He might get knocked out, just like Charles Martin did. I see him beating Ortiz. He's just too old. Ortiz is old, bro. We seen how he was barely moving and shit, kind of stepping under. Nah, he's too old. Let's be real. He's too old. No, but I'm building one, London. Similar to this one. Miller versus AJ. Same view and everything. So it's going to be fire. And I can't wait to get it up. Versus AJ. If AJ would do it, damn, that would have a backstory. We all know that what happened the first time Kurt, when one has seen Miller, AJ gives are off. It was never released. Yeah, that gloves are off. That's what I was about to say. The gloves are off was fire because Jarrell Miller made AJ, they say, made AJ look bad because of his freestyle skills. His freestyle skills were off the roof. One guy from Brooklyn, the other one from Watford, right? Or no, Sheffield. And they were going back and forth. So they had a battle, like face to face. And Jarrell Miller's supposed to have won that battle. So that would have been advantage Miller. But Miller lost failed the fucking drug test. You know, and I think at that point, Jarrell Miller's popularity would have shifted along with the mind games because we already seen AJ pissed off. We seen him mad. We seen him bent, right? We seen him unglued in that press conference, and all it took was Jarrell Miller to shove his ass and make him fool. He comes back with his fucking hands behind his back. It's like, there's no way someone shoved the shit out of me, I'm going to come back with my hands behind my back. There's no fucking way. Because you don't know Jarrell Miller. Jarrell Miller probably has the Riddick Bowe spirit. And what I mean by that, Riddick Bowe two-piece the guy. Back, back, right there at the press conference. So I wouldn't have done that. That was dumb. But that got under AJ's skin. And if that was released, that gloves are off or whatever, if it was released, then it would have showed Jarrell Miller beating Anthony Joshua in something else. So then they'll start thinking like, hey man, does Jarrell Miller have a shot? You know, after all, he is undefeated, right? Yeah, gloves are off. Thought Dubois would run through him was overrated, but no, it will be his best payday if he gets it. Stuart Davison. Yeah, back to Joyce though. Joyce, I think, needs a payday. If he can't get a shot at the title, he at least needs a good payday from AJ. Bars. Effia Jogman, Dillian Whyte, who you think would win? You know, I don't know. Because see, the thing about Effia Jogman, that's like Deontay Wilder almost. He just has more tools. He's just more consistent. That's Effia Jogman. That's Effia Jogman. He's a straight shooter. Now, here's the thing. You can't hook with a hooker, so it wouldn't make sense for Effia Jogman to hook with him. But I feel Dillian Whyte can knock him out. But I think Effia Jogman, though, is tall enough, rangy enough. He could possibly keep Dillian Whyte back with that strong jab, because he has a very strong jab, and he has a very good right hand, and he knocks people the fuck out. So Effia Jogman is saying for him. And we all know about Dillian Whyte. He can be knocked out, but we've seen him only knocked out by that one punch, which they call the uppercut of the shark punch. What's up, Kurt? Praise the Lord Jesus Christ. Praise the Lord to you, brother. I hope everything is well. I find Joyce slow and robotic. Yeah, he is, but he's also keeps coming. Are you going to counterpunch Devin and Kambosos getting to a heated argument how Kambosos was Haney's last option? Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow morning. do you think about Rashidi Ellis, Speedy, signing with PBC? Can he be in the mix at welterweight? Well, he's undefeated, I believe, right? So, yeah, he can. They need somebody. They need other guys over there. Joyce definitely needs a payday. He's not young either, Kurt. Everyone forgets his age. That's true. Happy days. That's true. St. Don in the building. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Devin for the win. Well, yeah, I think he has to knock out Kambosos, because if Kambosos makes it interesting, that shit's they're not gonna give him the decision in Australia. If they didn't give it to world-renowned 8-division world superstar boxer champion Manny Pacquiao, they're not gonna give it to Devin Haney. There, I said it. So, yeah, that's how I feel about it. Joe Joyce is, what, 35, 36? Yeah, he needs a payday. He definitely needs a payday, you know. But I think AJ can't run out of gas. You think Tyson Fury will retire undefeated? Yeah, I think he would try it. I think he will for one stint. Then I think what Tyson does, Tyson gets out because he just doesn't fucking feel like it's nothing left. And I think that's a part of the mental illness. And he gets out of the sport, and it depends on how he lives his life. If he continues that healthy routine and the needed adrenaline for the endorphins and all that stuff, right? If that's what he needs and does, he'll be fine. But if he spirals out of control, like we've already heard him say, that could happen. We don't know what'll happen to Tyson Fury. Okay? And another thing, he lost all that damn weight, and he had one thing on his side that he's not going to have forever, and that's age, youth. You know, so, nah. But I think he will retire undefeated once again, but I think he will come back to the sport. So, they're in my stomach. Lex Gaming White Teeth, they're in my stomach. Kurt, do you think Spence Crawford happens anytime soon? No. Chris Andre Boxing, what's up, Kurt? Miller versus Hrgovic is interesting. Hrgovic struggled with the incessant pressure of Joyce in the amateurs. Miller might try to replace that. Yeah, but understand, Joyce is not Miller, and Miller's not Joyce. Thank you for the super chat. Also understand this. Height difference. Okay, Hrgovic is 6'5", Jarrell Miller's like 6'3.5", 6'4". He's a pretty big dude, but I don't think he has that reach like Joe Joyce was able to pressure Hrgovic with. I don't think he's that guy. Now, he will try, but he will probably get his face beat in trying to apply that pressure. So he has to better have head movement, because if he doesn't, you know. Peace, y'all. What it do? DJ Black Charm Music, counterpunch to you. Fury versus Wilder had a lot of ring rust and age factors. I hear you. I think those guys were gonna fight the way they're gonna fight anyway. Because even the second fight wasn't really all that. It was sloppy too. They were a little fresher though, but it was sloppy too. Are you going live for the Spence Ugas or Fury Whyte? I'm going live for both fights. Definitely Dillian Whyte, Tyson Fury. Okay? Now I'm going live for that. I'm going all out. And it's going to be nice. Joyce can box like crazy. He can. He's just not a real quick fighter, but he's a consistent fighter, and he keeps moving forward. You know what I mean? He has decent defense. You know, and enough to get out of the way of huge punches like he did Dubois. Kurt, I would love to spar you. I'm currently 6'6", 190. Man, 6'6". So I'd have to punch up at you a bit. So that would probably be here. Where you at? Hit the likes, exactly. Hit that like button. You know, we got about 5 more minutes on here, so let's get some more questions answered. Fury versus Whyte prediction. I am coming out with that prediction, partially. I am coming out with that prediction. So stay tuned for that. I will have it out probably later this week. Or should I say, well, this is the last day of the week. So later next week, I will have it out. Some really interesting stuff. Ali Lewis, counterpunch to you. I got Fury. Whyte be fighting too sometime for me. Big up Kurt from Scotland. Personally, I think AJ beats Usyk. Whyte beats Fury. AJ versus Whyte 3 for undisputed. AJ retires using Fury's I beat the man that beat the man name. That's interesting. But we'll never know. It could happen like that. High 20s, high 220s now. I was low 220s. I was like at 222 like 5 days ago. It's crazy. Well, yeah. It's crazy how fast it is to put on weight. You got some lifting to do for Fury and Whyte fight as Whyte ain't doing any lifting. Yeah, well, I think he's trying to be faster. Weight slow you down at times. I think Dillian has made a smart decision in one way by not getting involved in the press and just concentrating on training. All pressure is on Fury and Warren to sell the show, their attention on the tickets. Hey, I agree. You know. Professor Clump Size. I don't know what that is. Or mating, AJ. AJ and Wilder, they get louder when they are angry. Fury gets quiet and cold when he's angry. Well, let's see him cold. Because I want to see a knockout. I want to see what Tyson Fury can do when he's cold and angry. You know? We got 2 more minutes, guys. Let's see. What we got? But Dillian will get sued. I have a feeling he won't get paid straight away. There will be a dispute. Bellew talks a lot about how Warren was shady managing him. One fight, governing board demanded $10,000 check. This live is inspiring me, bro. I'm 50 and was very fit in my prime. Okay. And been feeling a bit low due to my dad bod, but you are rocking it and look fit. No gay thing, just saying. Hey man, you know, it's all about shredding. Dad bods can get shredded just as quick as anybody else. It just takes discipline. Which in the next 2 weeks or so, I'm going to shred like no tomorrow. No carbs. I'm gonna be angry. I'm gonna be pissed off. So some of my videos I will be mad, but I will lose weight. I will shred down more and more. Shakur versus Valdez prediction. Shakur, you know, but Valdez is kind of iffy because I don't know if he can lose a decision. On fight night before he was even got in the ring, they said Warren demanded it. Dillian wants a escrow account for a reason. Well, I don't know. You know, those were one of the things that they didn't agree on, right? So, since it was one of the things they didn't agree on, and they lost the purse bid, those are one of the things that wasn't ever going to be honored. Now, the thing is, if you know you're not going to honor something, you should have never said or lied and said you were, because you really didn't have to, because it wasn't in the contract. So I want people to understand that. See, they had to sign that fight for that deal or lose the fight. Haney or Kambosos? Good fight. I think Haney has to work extra hard. I think he has to knock out Kambosos because he's in his backyard. Bars. He should have asked for an escrow. St. Don, that's what I'm saying. They did, but they didn't get that. That was one of the things between the 30-day window that they wanted and they couldn't reach an agreement to. Okay? That was one of the things. So when they lost the purse bid, that that agreement that they signed, that was valid. So they couldn't do anything about it. It's either that or they lost the fight. That's why Tyson Fury or Bob Arum and Frank Warren was looking for alternative fighters, just in case Dillian Whyte said, you know what, fuck it. See, the only person that could decide not to fight was Dillian Whyte. Just like Sean Porter. Remember when Sean Porter had the opportunity to walk away from the Terrence Crawford fight, right? If he walked away, they couldn't make him fight if he was mandatory. They couldn't make a mandatory challenger fight. You can't do that. You can't make a guy fight. He just would have lost his opportunity. They left the contract till the last minute and still got it wrong. Well, they signed it because they had no other choice. Hey, you either fight me the way we want you to because you lost the purse bid, or you walk the fuck away. And that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. Can Ugas beat Spence? Yes, he can beat Spence, but it's just like Kambosos. Kambosos the house name, so is Spence. So if it gets close, Ugas will lose a decision. But guys, I'm going to get back to my workout. I appreciate you guys. Like, share, subscribe. It's been a pleasure, a blessing. I'm going to get this day on. Everybody on the chat has been counterpunched. Enjoy this day like I'm about to do. And everybody has been counterpunched. Peace.